Okay. Yo, we're gonna get started right now. Listen. Let me see the chat get fired up real quick. Let me see the chat get fired up real quick. If you guys are ready for today's call, right? Let me see some fire in the chat. I don't think you guys are fired up yet. I need some real high energy because you guys are in for a treat. Oh my days, you guys are about to get hit with the flames today, right? Let me tell you something. We're gonna be hearing from someone that is, he's the definition of standing the test of time, right? He's being mentored by the one and only Bob Proctor, right? We're talking about the legend of legends, right? Bob Proctor's been studying this kind of content for 60 years. And you're gonna have a session with the person he's been mentoring. Imagine being mentored by Bob Proctor. Imagine what kind of energy you're gonna be having. Imagine what kind of value you're gonna be able to deliver, right? He's been mentored by Bob Proctor for years now. And the results he's been able to have, right? Just one of the results he's been able to have is taking, one of his companies from $1 million to 10 million in 1 year, in one calendar year, in 12 months. And you're going to be hearing from him today. And he's been able to be coaching our team as well. And just for the guys that's on this call, right? Since we've been getting coached by this individual, okay? Since we began coached by this individual, our business, we've had over like 39 promotions in our business in Foreign Wealth. And that only started happening about 60 to 70 days ago. So in that time span, we've had hundreds of customers join, 39 plus people that's ranked up, right? Earning anywhere from 150 to $2,000 a month in residual income. And we started getting coached by him very recently. Okay, guys, so what I want you guys to do is to really take notes. This is boot camp day number 5. And I want you guys to take notes. And the notes that you take, I don't want you just to take it and say, hey, I took notes and put it on Instagram and be like, woo. Yeah, no, I want you to use the content. I want you to go and apply everything he's delivering to you. All right, guys. So one more time, let me see the chat fire up before I bring them on. I need to see you guys put ones in the chat. I need to see you guys blow this chat up like crazy. Right? I need to see you guys really blow this chat up. 7s, fire, 1s, all of that stuff. Okay. I think you guys are ready. Well, without further ado, to bring on, right, to the virtual stage, my mentor, your number 1 wealth coach, Mr. Brian Domasso. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, my man?
I'm blessed. I'm fired up. Energy high. I'm ready, bro.
I was laughing because you said, when you're describing me, you're like, you stood the test of time. I'm like, you just call me old? So I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody here. And we're going to bring the heat tonight, give you guys some love and some talk about how to sustain in network marketing. Some of you may have seen me. We talked about the mechanics of network marketing. We're going to go through some things you may have seen before, but some new stuff here as well. And I really want to have you guys understand what momentum is and how to sustain it, because network marketing, man, when you get in momentum, you have to be aware of it, number 1, but number 2, you have to understand how to sustain it. So guys, right from the top, we all know that 96% of all the world's wealth is earned by 1% of the population. Some of you may have seen this before, but think about this. 96% of the world's wealth. It means less than 1% of the population is aware of how to earn money. Now, the beautiful thing in iMarkets Live is you guys have the vehicle. Like, we don't have to wonder if you're in the right vehicle. You don't have to wonder. It's not a job. There's a ton of leverage in what you're doing, and it's two-sided, right? You can trade and build or both. So it's a recession-proof business model, right? So you guys are in a really good vehicle, and it's just that most people don't understand that Forex trading, right? Money moves from the 95% of the world that's not getting educated. People jump into Forex all the time, just like they jump into network marketing, but they don't study, right? They don't study network marketing. They don't study mindset. They don't study trading and emotions. For those of you that do, you get the keys to the kingdom, right? As long as you're willing to stand the test of time, like Maurice said, have some fortitude, right? Have some mental endurance. We're going to talk about that today. Then you don't have to wonder if you're going to be successful. Time becomes the only variable, right? So we're going to work on your mindset here today and give you guys some tools that can help you. And again, guys, We're simply not taught any of this stuff in school. You're taught to memorize in school. You're not taught to think. You're not taught to reason. We're taught to memorize. And I went to school for engineering, and we're taught a bunch of memorization, right? But we're not really taught to think, and we're not taught decision-making, right? We're not taught self-image. You got to build the image, right? I saw all the pictures of Bryce ranking up the Chairman 750. You got to build that image. Like, there's no question he had an image in his mind from years ago, you know, when he started, that this I will do, this I will achieve, right? And that's what I love about Maurice, is he's building that same image here as well. But we're always talking about paradigms. We're talking about the programs, the mental programs that are stored in your subconscious mind, causing all of your results. And some of you may have heard this before, but you don't got it. Like, Bob has been studying for 60 years, and he still doesn't got it. He's always getting it. Does that make sense? So this is why you need to study every day a little bit for the rest of your life, really, because there's a law of polarity. There's a law of opposites, which states that everything has an equal and opposite. So when you stop studying what you want by the law of opposites, you're going to get what you don't want. It's no different than working out at the gym, right? I've been working out for 32 years, I figured out the other day. And then when COVID hit, the gyms closed and my workouts got sporadic. I was working out at home. I had a paradigm shift and a pattern interrupt. And you can see, like, your muscle, it'll start to go, man. It's no different than with your mind. You gotta stay sharp. Bob's in his office every morning, 5 a.m., dressed in a suit and studying, right? And he's been doing it for 60 years. So it's a set of mental programs that are controlling all of your results. Trading is a set of programs. It's like an operating system in a computer. And what you guys are doing in IML is you're installing the programs called trading through the spaced repetition of studying and trying and getting feedback. When you guys blow an account, that's not a bad thing. It's just a thing. It's just getting feedback. And that's how you need to look at it. It's like, isn't that interesting? What's the lesson? So the human being, we need to download new information, which is what you guys are doing. And then we need to put it into action. And then we get feedback. What you guys might be calling failure is not failure at all. It's just necessary feedback, so you can build the program called successful trading, right? And successful team building. When you're reaching out to people and you're prospecting to build your team, right? You may get some feedback. Well, what is this, a pyramid scheme? Or those things never work. You get feedback from the masses who are working jobs, right? Completely ignorant. And there's nothing wrong with a job. It's just, it's generational ignorance, right? It's scholastic ignorance being taught in school through the generations. So you're going to get some feedback that you might not like. But what I want you to do is just disconnect from those results. Just process the information. Well, it's not for you. It's not for you. There's like 7.5 billion people on the planet, right? And your company is in serious momentum. The only question is, are you in momentum, right? IML is in momentum. There's no question. But are you in momentum? And that's what we're going to talk about here. So we have this operating system in our subconscious mind that's controlling all of your results. Your income is a result of programs in your subconscious mind. So what we're doing here today is we're getting you to think and maybe start to alter those programs. Because in order to get to C100 or C500, right, you have to have the program called C100 installed before you actually get there. You don't have the program once you hit C100. You install the programs, right? The daily spaced repetition of prospecting and trading, right? There's repetitive things you need to do. And you have to have the mindset of a C100 before you become one. And I know that might be, excuse me, a little confusing, but the reality is you have to build the image, the self-image of a C100 or a C500 before you'll ever get there. And that's what we're going to do here. So walking is a program. You all know how to walk, and at one time that was impossible. But now you have a program called walking. So if you're newer in IML, or even if you're not, you might not have the program called successful trading or successful team building, and that's okay. It's 100% okay. You're going to make peace with that and then just surrender to the process and learn from the people that have demonstrated by the results that they know what they're doing. People like Maurice that are going in the right direction, right? Smoking is a program. It's a mental program expressed physically. So Forex trading and wealth building are programs that you can learn, right? And that's what we teach in the Mindset Masters. And through IML, you're learning the Forex trading piece of it. And then you have you have team builders and trainers there that are teaching you the network marketing side of it. And we've done some trainings with you guys too. We teach the network marketing side of it, right? So you have all the information. What you need to do is just sort of calm down. We're gonna talk about mastering the art of remaining calm and being like water. You don't need to grind and grind and grind. I mean, when you think about that, who wants to grind? Like even the term grind, like that doesn't sound fun. Now you can work 14-hour days like I do in a calm, confident manner, right? You don't have to stress out and grind out. You just, you can be like water and just understand this stuff at a higher level, right? So Forex trading is a set of programs, and wealth is 95% mindset and only 5% what you do. This is why we study mindset so much. Like in my company, we study mindset mostly, and we study network marketing probably 10% of the time. Because it's the mindset. You guys actually know what to do. You already know what to do. It's just, are you doing it is the only question, right? Are you doing it is the only question. And when we talk about mindset, you guys have probably seen people on the New York Stock Exchange, right? Stock traders that look like this. And you can be a stock trader here, or you could be like Warren Buffett and trade companies, right? Same industry. And he started off in stocks, in annuities and things of that nature, commodities, right? The only difference is mindset. And if you look at Alex and David and you look at where you are, the only difference is mindset and time. The only variable becomes time. But you can have the mindset right now. The instant you decide to shift your awareness, you have it, right? The instant you decide that I am, right? I am a C500 and the only variable is time, and you stop stressing, then you're going to get into the vibration of what you need to be in, which is a calm, confident vibration, right? Same thing with real estate. You can be in real estate like these people here, or you can be in real estate like Grant Cardone. You know, you can be in network marketing like these people here, or you can be in network marketing like Alex, right? You're one of your leaders. So think about this. Wherever you're at when you're watching this webinar, think about kind of where you're at and where you want to be. Because what you got to do is live in the mindset of where you want to be. That's the trick to this whole thing. Right? We use auto-suggestion, use goal cards, vision boards, life script. We visualize every single day. We get into a calm, confident state, but we take massive action. And we're going to talk about momentum and tapping out. A lot of people tap out too early. I mean, it's Friday afternoon, and some people are like, oh, you know, I didn't have a good week, but I'll pick it up next week. It's like, what? We got like 4 or 5 more hours today. Then we get tomorrow and Sunday. Like, you don't want to be tapping out when you're trying to create wealth, right? Let's talk a little bit about momentum for a minute. Let's talk a little bit about momentum and what it is, right? It's a physics principle, right? No different than gravity or time or electricity. Momentum is a physics principle, right? And what is momentum in network marketing is really the question. Well, momentum in network marketing usually starts with one person or a group of people. Actually, it always starts with one person. But momentum itself, like P is momentum, momentum equals mass times velocity. So you are a mass. Mass is physical existence, right? So you are actually a mass. And the only thing you got to take a look at is, are you in velocity? Are you in action? Mass times velocity. How many people are you reaching out to today is one question. And every day, you should answer that question every single day, even part-time. But also, what is your state of mind? More important is your state of mind. Are you in a high vibration when you're reaching out to people? If not, they're going to get a double binding message when you're on the phone. You're going to be like, man, this is the greatest company. But in your subconscious mind, you're like, man, I haven't sponsored somebody in 5 weeks. Like, I really hope this dude jumps in. You can't be thinking like that. You got to be thinking on behalf of the person you're sponsoring, right? So momentum is mass times velocity. And it all has to do with emotions, energy in motion, right? If you're in a sad state, it means you're in a low vibration. And if you're in a sad or a low state and you're reaching out to people, you're going to attract sad people. This is why you guys can start building a team and people come in and they're not doing anything, because you're in a low frequency, you're in a low vibration when you're prospecting, right? I'm always in a high vibration. When I reach out to somebody, I attract amazing people. And it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with my awareness and my energy state, right? And again, this is physics, guys. This is physics. You've been around it, right? You guys see, you know, David and Alex and Bryce, you see them speaking, you see them in an arena or on a webinar, and they're up and their energy's up and everybody like wants to get around them. Well, that's attraction responding to vibration. But you can be in the state, you can live at C500 right now. You don't need the money and the material things to experience the emotions of those people. You can put yourself there right now, right? Happiness is an inside thing. It has nothing to do with money or the people you're with or the house you're in. It has to do with an awareness from the inside. It has to do with looking for what's good all the time instead of looking for what's bad, right? Positive thinking versus negative thinking, right? That's why I love when Maurice made this picture. This is brilliant. And I'm sure this is pinned up on his wall somewhere, right? But momentum starts usually with one person, right? So Maurice had the presence of mind to sell me on the idea of working with you guys. Most people wouldn't think to do that. They'd be like, wow, he probably won't work with us. And who am I to even ask? And all these negative thoughts, right? Think about that. But Maurice had the presence of mind. It's like, well, why not me? Why wouldn't this dude listen to me? Like, why can't we work together? You know, I'm working with Bob. Like, how did that happen? Like, Bob didn't know me from anybody, but then I sold myself right into his living room, and him and I have spent many days one-on-one together. So where everybody's selling, you're always selling, guys, but energy and motion and momentum starts with one person. What I want to say to you is it's going to start with you, not Maurice. You are the leader of your team. Even if it's you leading you, the momentum starts with you leading yourself in a high vibration. Next thing you know, you got two more people. Boom, now you got a team. But you're the leader of that team. Now you may be going to these guys like Maurice and you know, your upline and stuff for trainings, and that's perfectly fine. But the momentum, the energy, the enthusiasm is going to come from you. And that's the difference between a P1000 and a C1000, which doesn't exist yet, right? So think about that, guys, right? Momentum is when one person gets with a few people and they build culture and community, right? A culture of educating each other, a culture of setting systems in place, a culture of caring if you're successful. You want to be responsible sponsors. Anybody can sponsor somebody. A child can do that, but it's a responsible sponsor that will grab somebody by the hand and be truthful. Say, this is not a lottery ticket. This is a business. And it has its ups and downs like any other business. Now, the beautiful thing, though, is it doesn't have any income ceilings. So if you get good at this business, you can build wealth. But it's simple, but it's not easy, and it's going to take some time. And if you want to spend the next 5 to 10 years in this industry on the side, you can do very well. But if you're here for 3 months and you're looking for $1 million in 3 months, it's not even worth your time of mind to sign up. Like, be transparent with people. They'll appreciate the honesty. And what'll happen is you'll have a team of people that actually get it, and they're working together. Does that make sense? But momentum is going to start with you guys. And right now you might be this little trickling stream. We see this stuff in nature all the time, don't we? Like this little stream right here, it's not trying to go through these rocks, right? We see this in nature all the time. It's meandering in and amongst and through the rocks. It doesn't have enough energy to move the rock, so it takes the path of non-resistance, and it'll just go right around them. So I want you guys to always think about being like water. But what happens with energy and water as it grows? Right? Water becomes very powerful, doesn't it? From a little trickling stream to a river like this. Now, in a river like this, it does start moving the rocks, doesn't it? Well, this is you at P5000 on your way to Chairman 10. You start to pick up some momentum. You start to pick up some steam. People start following you. It's not as hard to recruit people because you're at C10 making 10K a month, right? And people are listening to your story now. It's the same story you were telling when you just started, just more energy and momentum behind it. Right? And this river can keep going and going and going. Next thing you know, you're a C100, and almost everybody's signing up because your evidence and what you're doing is like you have the results, right? But you need to get in the mental state of mind like you already have the results, because think about this. You actually do have the results. As soon as you make a decision that you're going to be a C100 no matter what, then the only variable, becomes time. Time becomes the only variable. If you do certain things in a certain way, it's inevitable that you will hit that goal. So if that's the case, then you already have it. And that's really the state of mind you guys need to hold, is the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now, what happens in life, guys, is there's a natural life force. Call it God, call it universal consciousness. There's a natural law to creation, and there's a sort of an energy stream that you can get in. And this is why some people, when they get in that stream and they're in momentum, they're just rolling and rolling and rolling. But most of you guys are paddling upstream. I'll give you some examples. When you blow an account and you get frustrated, that's paddling upstream. It tells me you don't understand. You don't understand the industry of Forex trading. You're going to blow some accounts on the way up. It's quite necessary. That's how you learn. You're going to make some bad trades. Now, hopefully you don't keep blowing accounts and you learn from your mistakes. But when you get upset and when you get sad or mad about the accounts, now you're rowing upstream. You're going against the current, and everything you want is downstream. Like C100 is downstream. There's no frustration to C100, right? Life is good, man, right? So that's on a high vibration. So, and if you're getting upset because your downline's not doing anything, well, now you're paddling upstream. Negative thoughts. Now you're thinking C100, but you put negative thoughts to it. So you're pushing it away. Does that make sense? I want you to really understand, start to understand. Guys, type a 7 in the chat if that makes sense. I want you to start to understand that your thought energy matters more than anything, quite honestly. And I want you to use this visual of paddling against the stream. Now, you can paddle against the stream when it looks like this. And this is why people burn out, though. Maurice was talking about burning out in corporate America and also in his network marketing journey from grinding and hustling. And he was paddling against the stream. Well, guess what? The stream gets bigger and bigger the older you get. Next thing you know, you're trying to do this. Now, guys, how long, I don't care what kind of shape you're in, how long do you think you can paddle against the natural laws of God and the universe? All right, this is why these dudes in their 40s are burning out and having heart attacks, because they're on Wall Street and they're bulling their way. They're working 16-hour days and they're just forcing their way instead of being calm. But Warren Buffett, this dude's, right, he's in his 80s and he's crushing life, man, crushing life. And he's calm. You know, you look at Bill Gates, these guys they're calm. They're masters of the universe. So it's not a matter of grinding your way to the top. You can, but it's much easier and much more healthy and much faster to be like water and go with the flow, so to speak. And we do that by calming our mind down. Does that make sense? And it's a vibrational thing. Now, when you're in harmony with the flow of God and creation, right? When you're calm and nothing rattles you, it just is what it is. It's all part of the journey, right? The path to C100 isn't like here in a straight line to here. It looks kind of like a mosquito buzzing around sporadically, right? You meet somebody and they start rocking and rolling, then they bail out. You're like, what the hell, man? And then you start rocking and rolling, you're doing presentations, and then COVID hits and you can't do physical presentation. Then you got to go to Zoom, and then that starts working, and then the internet crashes, right? But you can't get twisted about all this stuff. You got to have thick skin. One of my mentors in network marketing, he said this phrase. He said, nothing matters. And I didn't know what it meant right away. I kind of got it, right? Well, nothing matters. He said, no. If you want to be successful in network marketing or really any industry, then you got to adopt the phrase that nothing matters. Nothing matters. If your company website goes down, nothing matters. If you lose an entire line, well, nothing matters. If there's, I don't know, an economic crash, it's like, well, nothing matters. You got to have that kind of skin to get to C100 and above. And I'm assuming most of you guys want to get there. Guys, why don't you do this? Why don't you type a chat in the chat what your goal is inside of iMarkets Academy? Just be honest, though. Not everybody can be a Chairman 500. What are your goals inside of IML? Go ahead and type in the chat. Just curious, 750, 500. Okay, you got to get some C Elite. I like that. 250. C10. See, there's somebody that's honest. C1000, yeah, C10. But even at Chairman 10, I promise you got to have some thick skin. You can't get flustered over little things. You know, you can't get flustered over little things. You gotta do like this girl in this picture. You let the oars go and you go with the flow, right? Now, what happens here when you learn this method, right, is the river of momentum that is raging to C500 will carry you very fast. I mean, the very hardest day in network marketing is the day you join. Every day after that gets easier. You sponsor one person, got a little easier. 2 people, 5 people, 10. Right? When you get to Chairman 100, it's a cakewalk to 500. Right? I promise you, like, you're in momentum, man. It's just time at that point. So the very first day in network marketing is the hardest day in your life in network marketing. And every day after that gets easier and easier and easier and easier and easier. Does that make sense? You should fall in love with that. Every day you're in, it's a little easier. One more customer, one more business partner, get a little bit better at trading, account got a little fatter. Does that make sense? And if you just keep doing these things, certain things in a certain way every day, it's like unadulterated magic. It's like a quantum leap. It's hard to explain if you've never been in one. But that's really the deal, guys. And we're going to go over levels of awareness because it's very important that you understand levels of awareness as it relates to what you guys are doing. And right now, you're just at a certain level of awareness. Whatever you're doing physically, mentally, financially, and I like to use numbers, like $50,000 a year is just a level of awareness. It's not good, it's not bad, it's not big or small. It's just a level of awareness, all right? And 100,000, right? 250,000, these are just levels of awareness. And nobody's earning 250,000 a year because that's what they want. You might think they are, and you might think that's actually pretty good. Well, it's not good or bad or big or small, it just is. But it's just a level of awareness. And nobody's really earning 250 a year because that's what they want. They're earning 250 a year because that's what they're aware of. All right. And the same thing with 500,000, $1 million a year, 5 million a year, right? There's no such thing as big or small. It's just, what do you want? Now, I'm going to give you the secret here, the method to get to chairman 100 and above. All you got to do is 3 things. Well, there's 4 things. Number 1, study in your mind every day. Study in your mind every day. You have things inside of IML Academy. You have Mindset Masters. You have Think and Grow Rich, Neville Goddard books. Study something in your mind every single day. Study your industry every day. That's the training you do inside of iMarkets Live, right? That's your training and network marketing training. You got to learn the industry, and then take daily measurable action. Now, most of you guys are probably not tracking. Well, maybe some of you are, but some of you might not be tracking. I know Maurice has tracking, like he's a monster at tracking. You gotta understand what you're putting out. How many people do you reach out to? How many come back to you? How many presentations do you get on? And how many people sign up? Once you start tracking your numbers, you're good to go. You know where to work on what things, right? So studying your mind, studying your craft, daily measurable action. If you do this every day, what you're gonna see over time is these little lines start to increase. And this is what a rank advance is. You guys might not think of this, but any of you that have made a rank advance, well, that's a level of awareness now, isn't it? Right? You were making at a P160 one day and you're a P600 the next. That's a level of awareness. And then P1000, P5000, Chairman 10. Look at these lines. Those are just levels of awareness. They're not good or bad. They just are. And if you do certain things in a certain way, it's a mathematical certainty that you'll hit your goal. Think about that. Think about how good that must feel. For those of you that are wondering, stop wondering if it's going to work and just do the damn work. That's the only deal. That's it. Right? It's a mathematical certainty. If you do certain things in a certain way, you're going to get there. So you should surrender to the process and really love that. All right, guys? Now, here's the deal. You're going to hit your goal at Chairman 100, and you're going to say, damn, I should have set my goal for Chairman Elite. Right? Guys, there's no such thing as big or small. No such thing as big or small. And even people that are at the top of the company, they start to get into real estate. They start to look at people like Jeff Bezos. The dude made $13 billion in 2 hours. So Chairman 750 is not really that big of a deal when you compare it to other things, right? And it's just about what you want. So the earth itself is not big or small until you compare it to a golf ball or the universe. Think about that. And I want you guys to really understand this. You have to start to minimize Chairman 500 or Chairman 100. Start to minimize it. Play with it. It is what it is. It's actually easy. Matter of fact, this is not rocket science. You're not building rockets. All you can do is reach out to people. Are you interested to take a look at my business model? If not, no big deal. Right? You just got to get good with a little bit of language and reach out to people. This is the simplest business in the whole world, right? But it takes time and you got to study your craft. All right, guys, and some of you have seen this before, right? But what I really want to show you is just levels of awareness, right? And here's you at your current income. Here's me at my current income too, right? My goal is $21 billion in net worth and assets. And I'm not just making that up. Here it is. Here's my vision book. Here's my software company that we're developing, Contact Ninja. And my goal is $21 billion in net worth and assets. So, and that's not a big goal or a small goal, but right now I'm nowhere near that. My current income is nowhere near that. So this is me too. This is me in this picture, right? And when I was born and when you were born, I didn't even know how to put my clothes on. Think about this. Your parents could have put your clothes next to you and told you to get dressed, and you would have probably drooled on the clothes or maybe started chewing on them or something. So at one point in your life, it was impossible to get dressed. I really want this to sink in. Even if you've seen this before, really let this sink in. At one point in your life, it was impossible to put your damn clothes on. Now it's a habit. It's a mental program stored in your subconscious mind. Now, if we erased your subconscious mind, and I don't care how old you are, you wouldn't know how to put your clothes on. You wouldn't have the program anymore. So if it was impossible at one point to put your clothes on, you might think it's impossible right now to get the Chairman 750, but it's not. Now, the difference is you might have limiting beliefs because you're an adult. And I want you to look at this picture here, right? This is what successful people do from day one all the way to the top. They enjoy the ride. They enjoy the ride. Think about that, right? They don't bitch and moan and complain. They just focus on their goal. They harvest the good. They forgive the rest. They're kind of like laser focused, aren't they? And they don't listen to their friends and their family and their neighbors. They just kind of put their head down and move forward with velocity and momentum. And you see these people, right, in your company. But the beautiful truth is you can do this too. Now, what I see in network marketing is more of this. This is more of what I see. Oh, this person quit, or, my brother said no, or they told me it was a pyramid scheme, or I blew my account, right? This is what I want you to look like. Next time you guys catch yourself bitching or moaning or complaining, remember this picture, right? You got to enjoy the ride. That's a vibrational thing. And for those of you that have never listened to Esther Hicks, you can understand this stuff. She talks about enjoying the ride, becoming a vibrational match for what you want. So I see all your goals, 750, 250, right? That's at a high vibration. Now, in order to get there, you need to have thick skin. You always need to be part of the solution and never be part of the problem. Think about that. Always be part of the solution and never be part of the problem. Don't jump on the complaining bandwagon when a software doesn't work or something doesn't happen, right? Always be part of the solution and you'll shoot right towards your goals. All right, guys. So again, this is how the masses are programmed, right? We're programmed to look at our results. So most of you might be looking at your current results. You might be looking at your current results. And if you're not where you want to be, that might set up the thinking for the day, right? If you're wanting it to see 100 and you're at, P1000 and you're looking at that like, man, and it's frustrating you, you're looking at your results instead of looking at where you want to go. All right, guys? So you don't want to look at your results to cause your thinking and set up the feelings to cause the action. But this is how like 99% of the planet is programmed, right? They're looking at the environment. They're looking at this COVID thing, and it's making them think differently, and they're scared, and their feelings are dropping, and they're not making any moves. They're not investing. They're not building. I saw some dude on LinkedIn today. He said, "Oh, I'm not doing it." Like, it's a down year. What do you mean it's a down year? The year's only half over. The year's whatever you make it, right? It's not a down year for me. We're literally having the best year of our lives and across the board, physically, financially, all of it, right? Because we choose to. It's an inside out thing. And this is what that looks like, guys. Right from this webinar, I want you to always and only look at your new thinking, right? Your mantra should be, C750, just all the time. Live it, breathe it, feel it, make a vision board, post the pictures. You got to become that, right? And it's the new thinking. I'm talking as soon as you wake up in the morning, put your life script in and brainwash yourself into this. Like, Chairman 750, man, this is what it's like. This is what it feels like. This is where I'm living. This is what I'm doing with my family. I'm doing real estate investing. Like, you got to live that stuff. So it's the new thinking. And this is how Steve Jobs was programmed. He didn't look at anything in the current world. He only looked towards the future to create. And that's what Elon Musk is doing too. So you guys see this stuff. Now I'm giving you the secret. I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom. You got to control your thinking at all times. And if you have negative thoughts, you get rid of them. You just push them aside. A negative thought is you thinking about what you don't have. Stop doing that and start thinking about all the good you do have. That's the new thinking. New thinking causes new feelings or higher vibrations. And those higher vibrations cause new actions, right? And the new actions is you taking action in your business, reaching out to people. Instead of reaching out to 5 people a day, why don't you reach out to 50? That would quantum leap everything. That would 10x everything right there. And that's a part-time thing too, right? With Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, so many ways to reach out to people, and you're going to get better and better and better as you go. Right? So I love this picture of Roger Bannister. For those of you who don't know, he was the first human being to ever break the 4-minute mile. And up until then, the entire world thought it was impossible for a human being to push their body to run a mile in under 4 minutes. So I want you to think about that. So how is he able to do that? Well, guess what? It's new thinking. It's not the masses thinking. He's not looking at the results of the entire human race through all of measured time. He's like, this has to be possible. I believe it, so it is so. This is how Thomas Edison perfected the light bulb, right? This is how the world is created, by the 1%. We don't look at everybody else's results. That wouldn't make sense because I don't want everybody else's results. I want my results. So if he can use this, and this is a physical endurance thing, isn't it? This is a physical endurance. But what I want you to understand is that the mind controls the body. Physical endurance is a result of mind over body, overruling the pain, overruling the feedback, the sensory feedback, the paradigms. Like his body after this, he collapsed right after this, must have felt like living hell, right? It must have felt like he was at the breaking point. But he was able to mentally overrule those indicators and push forward. And that's what you guys need to do, right? If anybody here knows Conor McGregor, you know that he studies the material we teach. He studies the law of attraction, vibration, the same exact stuff we teach, which is why he's the greatest in the world in his weight class. Now, if you think about this, he's not necessarily the most athletically gifted. I mean, he's in great shape, but he studies the mind. He visualizes more than anybody else. He mentally sees himself winning. And he's such a mental master of his mind that he almost always wins, right? Almost always. I mean, his track record is ridiculous, right? Now, what we're going to talk about is mental endurance. Now, a lot of you guys are tapping out too early. You're tapping out too early. It's, you know, if you're on the ride to C100, you got to put the time in. You don't have to grind, but some of you are tapping out too early. In Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you haven't sponsored any. You reach out to 50 people a day, and nobody came in all week. And it's Friday afternoon, and you're like, man, and you just I'm burnt out. You even say things like this, I'm burnt out. You're not burnt out. You don't understand yourself. This is where champions are born, right? Not tapping out on a Friday night, that one extra thing. Like after this webinar, I'm signing a distributor in my business. Now guys, I'm the number 2 income earner in the whole damn company. I don't need to sign a distributor, but I'm not tapping out. Like the day's not over yet. Plus I want to help another human being, right? That's what signing a distributor is too, by the way. When you guys sign a new distributor, a new customer, you're changing the life of another human being if you're doing it right. If you are a responsible sponsor, if you care about that human, you're going to hold their hand and help them have some success. So don't look at your pocketbook. Instead, look at impacting people, and you don't have to worry about your pocketbook. You don't need to worry about your wallet if you're just helping people, right? So this is like at 11 o'clock at night when one of your downline calls and you're like, right? Do you answer it or not? It's the little things. It's a game of inches, right? Even in football, right? There's entire Super Bowl championships that are lost by inches. Now those inches could have been made up in the 13 plays before. Just that one extra little push, a fraction of an inch times 12 plays, right? Think about that. So everything in the universe is a game of inches. It's that extra mile. It's the mental endurance that drives the body. And that's what I want to talk about here with you guys. You got to develop that mental endurance, because why take 10 years to get to C100 when you can do it in 2? Think about that. Time is the most precious element we have. So why not make a decision to shortcut that a little bit and grab those extra inches every day? Have fun with it. Enjoy it too. Like gladly pick up the phone at midnight for your downline. Like be glad that they're calling you. It means they're working, right? So think about that. Change your perception and your attitude and watch what happens in your business almost overnight. It's amazing what can happen in a short period of time. All right, guys. Now, most of you have probably seen this. This is the mind map. And if you haven't, you can get a copy of this from Maurice. And I think we have some of the recordings too. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But mentally, right? Mentally tapping out is letting the body drive the mind. Think about that. If you're like, I'm exhausted, you're not exhausted. If I came into your home and tried to abduct your child, like you'd find some energy, wouldn't you? You're not exhausted. You're just telling yourself this stuff. So stop buying those paradigms, right? Stop letting the body drive the mind. Use the mind to drive the body. And this is how we do it. We do it on this side of the deal, right? I know that if I do certain things in a certain way, it's a mathematical fact I'm going to be a Chairman 100. And boy, what does it feel like to be a Chairman 100? What does it feel like? Oh my God, I'd be here, I'd be there, I'd be moving to Miami, I'd be doing this, that, the other thing, retire my parents. This is the side of the deal. You don't even want to look at this side of the deal. Like X this out. If you have one of these printed out, you should draw X down this whole side, like worry and doubt. Why are you worrying about hitting these goals? If you stay over here, it's a fact that you're going to hit them. Does that make sense, guys? So you want to start to build that mental endurance. And when you do that day after day, you're going to start to build momentum. See, momentum is created. A lot of people think you got to get into momentum. That's not it at all, right? Mass times velocity. You moving into action is what creates momentum. Now you have to move into action and sustain the action for a long enough period of time to bring people with you. That's where attraction comes in. There's a gestation period. So you get your energy up, you get your mindset up, you move forward, you dance until it rains, and you see the people start to follow, and that's what momentum is. So that's why I wanted to teach you guys about that. It starts with each and every one of you. It doesn't start with your upline. Eric Worre says, fire your upline. Like you gotta have the attitude of mind that I'm going to the top with or without you. I don't really need you except for the training, and thank you very much. But once you get that, I got it, and I'll reach out to you if I need you. But if not, I'm gonna see you at the top. Matter of fact, look out because I'm more likely gonna pass you. Right? That's the attitude you want to have, guys. And it's a fun attitude too, right? So you got to build the mental endurance, way more important than the physical endurance. So what is mental endurance? Physical endurance is mind over body, but mental endurance is mind over paradigm. Does that make sense? The paradigm is the existing program. You got to use your mind to overrule the existing paradigm that's causing you guys to tap out too early. Does that make sense, guys? Type a 7 in the chat if that makes sense. You have physical endurance, which everybody gets. Most people don't understand what mental endurance is. It's mind over paradigm, mind over programming, or it's dreams. It's your dreams over your programming. And at every point in the juncture, you got to ask yourself, can I go another 10 minutes? Just another 10 minutes, just another call. Reach out to 2 more people, 1 more person a day. Over a year is 365 more people. Think about that. If you reach out to just 1 more person a day over a year, it's 365 more people. How many of those people are going to sign up? It's got to be at least 20. And then think about the quantum leap from an additional 20 people a year. Make sense, guys? So if I was you right from this webinar, I would up your goal, up your daily activity. How many people you're reaching out to, and watch what happens. And again, guys, wealth is 95% mindset. It's your attitude. It's not just moving forward. It's moving forward in a calm, confident, be like water type of attitude. And I'm hoping that's what you get out of this. You got to calm down to speed up, right? Warren Buffett, he's not bulldozing. He's calm. He's doing his thing. And they make decisions in a calm, confident manner. And you guys have to make decisions. What do you want? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice, right? Sacrifice is not a bad word. Take a look at this. How'd you like to be still in your 20s and a multi-millionaire hanging out with Grant Cardone? Like, what would that feel like? I mean, you guys see Alex's life, and he was very vocal about his proposal, and on top of the Porsche Towers and fireworks are going off. Like, what are you willing to do for a short period of time in order to live life like almost nobody lives? Right? It's all decision. It's all it is. Decision backed by faith. And I want you guys to imagine over the next year or 2 years, as you're on this journey to C100, C500, C750, just imagine this stuff. These are the images, right? These are from my vision book. They're right here in my vision book, right? When I show you guys these slides, It's right out of my vision books. You guys should probably have a vision book, right? And I'm moving down to Miami this winter. All right, you got to have this stuff. You got to visualize, put yourself in there. I love what Maurice does because he always photoshops himself into these crazy pictures, right? Well, that's not just a cute thing to do. If you understand physics, that's a momentum building activity from him to himself, right? A lot can be learned from that young man. I want you to imagine what it would be like, C100, C500, and then beyond. There's a lot beyond that too. All right, guys, you got to put yourself there. And I love this, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are correct. All right, guys. So that's my time here for today. Hopefully you've gotten some value out of this. Maurice, if you want to come on, say a few words. I always appreciate coming on with you guys. I'm happy to do it. I'm always happy to give value, any kind of training you guys need. Maurice is one of my main men, and he's going to the top. So I would highly suggest that you guys pay attention to what he's doing, right? He's already a C500 or C750, like was in the picture. Time is the only variable. All right, guys, so be well and God bless. Hopefully you get some value out of that. Until next time, take care.
Wow, wow, wow. Guys, wow, my days. Guys, let me see some fire in the chat if you just got some value today. This guy always comes on. Brian always comes on and just kills it. He always comes on and just rips it apart, man. Look, let me see some 777s in the chat if you want more training like this on like a weekly basis. Let me see 77s in the chat if you want more trainings like this on a weekly basis. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do for you guys is in April time, we joined something called a Mindset Masters. And this is where we've been getting the coaching from Brian literally every week. And it's on some weeks and it's off some weeks. No, it's every single week, okay, on a Monday. And you get to go on a training with Brian. And it's not just a training, it's a mastermind. So you literally get to mastermind with him. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link in the chat. And all it is, the Mindset Masters is literally 67 cents a day. It's $20 a month, right? It's only $20 a month. And if you're really serious about taking it to the next level and having the success that you want to have, right? Remember, coachability and teachability. You just had the training from Brian. And if you want it more consistently, I highly suggest that you guys join the Mindset Masters. All right? So let me see some fire in the chat if you like the idea of that. Let me see some ones and some fires in the chat if that's making sense to you guys. Okay, cool. Wicked. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to disable the chat because I know it's blown up at the moment. Okay, cool. And that is a link to join the Mindset Masters. Okay? That is a link to join the Mindset Masters. So what I highly suggest you copy the link, get your Mindset Masters pass now. It's only $20 a month. You'll be in weekly trainings with Brian. And you're not just going to get weekly trainings with Brian, but also with his daughter, Maddie, as well, who is crushing it at the moment in her early 20s, like really crushing it. Okay, I'm talking about 5, 6-figure months. You're not just going to get trainings from them every week. You're also going to get weekly live 60-minute days. So they basically is going to be interactive webinars happen every week, but you're also going to get Facebook daily live coaching. So the daily live coaching is also going to happen on Facebook Live. You can put into a Facebook group, and you also get free admission to any other any other thing that's going to be happening with the Matrix as well. So everything that's going to be happening in the Matrix, you also get access to that as well. And on top of that, the last thing is you also get access to top coaches. So people that Brian has coached and people like Brian himself. Okay, so what I highly suggest is you guys click on the link, get your Mindset Masters pass. All right. Now, the last thing I want you guys to do is just put thank you in the chat for Brian, for him coming onto the call, because he didn't have to do this, right? He didn't have to do this. He does 101 other things. But let me see some thank yous in the chat for Brian before we close out. There we go. Always show the energy back. All right, guys. So look, I love and appreciate you all. I'll also send the links to the various leaders in the call so that you guys can still get it. And I'm going to catch you guys later. This is day number 5 of the boot camp wrapped up. Peace out and love. And I'm going to see you in the next Mindset Masters call next week. Peace.